Two, I got
No,
Kanye.
no Busy Bone. I check here. Nothing out there.
But no, I want Kanye number 2. You know, I just think what he was doing, rapping wise, producing wise. You know, he was arguably one of the top rappers, arguably the number one producer. You know, at least on a mainstream level. You know, at that time, and like his momentum was just so strong. You know, during that era, during that year itself. You know, stuff like anything he was touching was was magic. You know, at that point. So to me, it was really no brainer. I mean, we already spoke on Kanye. We already listed like the attributes he brought to it. So, but bottom line, that was my number 2. And let me jump to number 1.
Wait, I didn't do my number 2 yet.
Oh, you didn't do number 2?
No, my number 2 was 50. This would be the last time he would ever have a mega blockbuster year. He was like I mean, he managed to capitalize on controversy on purpose. He made beef into publicity. He did that well. He put up like huge numbers, but I mean, he continued G Unit's run. G Unit's run, started with Get Rich or Die Trying on the mainstream level. That was in 03, February 03. He managed to stretch that into all of 03, 04. He puts out the G Unit debuts of like Young Buck, Lloyd Banks. 05, technically, Game is G Unit at the time. So he continues that run. He drops. He's topping charts. Later that year, he manages to fucking get Tony Yayo a gold album. Tony Yayo came out. He came out the same day as Late Registration, actually. So they came out the same day. I remember that. Gold. Yeah, and he actually went gold. So that was to me, that was a testament of the G Unit brand. And of course, 50 was responsible for So Seductive and all that. 50 also dropped the soundtrack to Get Rich or Die Trying, the movie, this year. So he also has his hits on the Massacre, but then he drops the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, Hustler's Ambition.
G Unit album?
No, not the G Unit album. No, the Get Rich or Die Trying. The G Unit album? No, 03, same day as Black Album.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, so on purposely, but yeah, so he had the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, Hustler's Ambition, Window Shopper, and then G Unit was gonna start expanding with like MOP and Mobb Deep and stuff, and so, but 05 was the last big year for like G Unit, and 50 Cent was, he was still the biggest thing in 05.
Yeah, but that was pretty much the end of like that was right before YouTube came up in like 2007, and like. That was pretty much like the end, like
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, like as far as music videos go, like that was.
So fifth is your number 1.
That was my number 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So now number 1's.
I'm gonna do number 1. I'm about to lay down this shit. I'm tired.
Yeah, do your number 1, brother.
My number 1 was Game. I just think his momentum was so strong. I mean, remember he came out the gate selling 5 million, for a debut album. For somebody. I mean, he had a lot of hype behind it. I remember the MTV had a little special, documentary special thing, show content. But for somebody, and I remember Game before he was with 50. I remember Game when he was strictly with Dre. I remember him, on the Wu Kid mixtapes, rapping with Fabulous and stuff. So to see how he went from that into how he progressed, getting with 50, and I mean, he owes his career to 50. I mean, as far as the guidance is concerned, this is a transitional phase, It was just phenomenal. Like, I wasn't really into Game that much just because I wasn't really into G Unit like that. But when I went back, a year or 2 later, I'm like, yo, he has a, phenomenal album. Like, I can't hate on Game. What he was, rapping on. Granted, you might say he might not have the best substance name dropping, but like, as far as lyrics and bars are concerned, he had it. He was, like you said, first West Coast rapper probably since like Snoop and Pac that really had things on lock. You know what I mean?
Right.
And honestly, he was only one still on the West Coast until Kendrick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, we said that like the West, they got gaps of dominance.
Exactly what I'm saying.
When they dominant,
and it was him. It was him on for the West.
Chokehold on the
until Kendrick and rest of TV.
Kendrick ain't letting loose for another 3 years.
Yeah,
man, at least another 3 years.
Yeah, but like he bought the West back.
Yeah, but his early mixtapes are garbage.
Kendrick?
Yeah.
Section 8 is a classic, brother.
Which one?
Well, that's actually I don't consider that. Before that, yeah, like Kendrick Lamar.
That was when he was saying he was trying to be like Wayne.
Nah, K-Dot, we're not talking about that.
When he
it counts. What do you mean? I cannot count it.
It's literally not Kendrick Lamar. It's K-Dot.
What is Kendrick Lamar?
He had to.
Listen, what's a Kendrick Lamar?
You act like Common, not Common
We
Sense.
just drifted hard as hell. By the way.
All right, we cannot talk about Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar topic would be good for
that's a whole
We cannot talk about Kendrick in 2005 though. He's like 11.
He was just K. Like, he's Duckworth.
He said, "I love Lil Wayne."
My mixtape day at the
Game's my dad.
So you said your number one was Game?
Yeah.
So I don't know who's next.
Common, number one for me, bro. That's it. Boom.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna continue. My number one's Kanye, and it's not even. Well, yeah, it's not Common. Like to me, that like blew my mind. I was like, oh shit! Like you can come from Common to like someone who I did like Kanye. I liked a lot of his stuff that wasn't on his albums, and I loved how much he reps his. I loved how much he repped Chicago. Like that was pretty much the thing. I was like, all right, this
he
kid,
had Chicago on his
like
back.
he had his heart like on his back.
Yeah.
And like he brought like if I was from Chicago, it'd be like us. Like yo, Black Thought's got to be on our fucking album. Like I want to work with Black Thought. Like no, he's working with Common and he did it successfully. And then Kanye number one. Like working.
And I'll just piggyback off that.
Yeah.
Kanye was my number one between him just as an artist, and then I think maybe his production for other people's albums probably slowed down around that time because he was busy trying to drop that album.
Yeah.
But I just think even with everybody else's success, I think he was having success without being a gangster rapper, right?
Yeah,
we had seen
exactly.
the 50 Cents and
Key
before
point
that
we haven't mentioned yet.
He was basically doing like that alternative kind, that non-threatening, kind of like how Tribe did and whatnot.
Right.
And he did it, and he was doing numbers off it. He was getting recognized for it.
The
and,
new version of Tribe, basically.
Yeah,
No, but it wasn't even hippie like. It was more like,
It wasn't hippie.
yo, like this is like it's like a combination of so many things.
Yeah, it was like I'm going to floss like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I got a message like Q-Tip.
Yeah.
But
I love my mama.
Yeah, I love my mama though.
He had he had like the early Mos Def and Common kind of feel. He did all that. And
Social Mischief, he's got a little bit of that in him.
Yeah.
So many
the
flavors.
misogyny, because he was still talking stuff about the women.
Yeah.
And he made it work. Had hell of an ear for beats. He knew how to do the album rollout. I mean, he continued it. College Dropout, Late Registration. He had the iconic bear that we will always recognize when we see it. Yeah, I mean, he had a string of hit singles on that. I mean, but for the culture, I feel like Kanye was the guy. As much as Jeezy debuted this year and had success in 50 and Game On, I feel like nobody was steering the culture more on a mainstream level than Kanye West.
Yeah.
I think all things hip hop went through him at the time.
Yeah, it was commercial success and just world succession for hip hop. Like we can attach to the old, create something new, and it was perfect, man. Yeah, B, Late Registration, the combination. Yeah.
All right, so the moment we all waiting for. The grade for this year as a whole. F, meaning that it was, it meant nothing to you.
Meaning it was
snooze button. A meaning, or A plus meaning that it was phenomenal, and we'll give our reasons why. Damn it. Who wants to lead first?
Here, I'll go first. Yeah, I mean, this was from my point of view, more of like an underground, more of less, manufactured type music. I would say it's a C. I mean, it's a great year for Kanye and Common and all that, but as far as bridging gap, you're talking about 2005 in between the 90s stuff and what we have now. I would say it's not a great representation of where we're at music now. So, like a C plus maybe.
Pretty low for me. Because here's the thing: we've done like 10 of these, and I just always look at the 2000. When I see that 200 whatever, I just get all excited. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be some good stuff for me. And I'm like, oh man, damn, it wasn't really that good. Not all the time,
Yeah.
you know. 2005 was one of those times where it was like, 2006, I did not like. I felt myself, I was like, yo, man, I'm a young man. I'm like 27 or whatever age. I was like, yo, this is not my hip hop. What the fuck
That's
is
only
going
1 year
on?
removed. How could it?
Well, it really changed. I mean, it started
I'm
changing.
telling you, man, there's a significant difference between 05 and 06.
It's
Man.
very significant, and
ringtone era.
it just like, yeah, man, it takes a few bad apples to ruin that fucking fruit salad, baby. But
He said fruit.
So what do you
You got him with the
give
fruit
it?
salad.
I mean, you can't give it anything above an A.
Listen,
You can't even...
bro, I give this year. All right, so there was 8 albums I could consider as classic albums this year. 8. So my criteria is
Yocho.
my criteria is if it's 5 or more, okay,
It's a good year.
it could be pretty good. You know, like, it could be pretty good. I mean, like 95 for me is like 10 albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
97 might be like 8. I got at least 8 in 2005.
But it's quality over fun. I mean,
Another thing that we don't take into account, as the years go on, more artists have opportunities to do more things. You know, like,
if you're lucky. Yeah.
right, like,
If you got a career.
right, and like now, 2017, we have so many albums we can't even count them. It's shit that we just can't even hear. It's just we just don't have the time.
I don't know. I remember 2005. I never thought Kanye would have an album with Jay-Z and it would be like a partnership type deal. Like,
Yeah, I would never think that. I mean, I give 2005 a solid A. Solid A. Like, you know, just because like Monkey Bars was not in my top 5. Smith and Wesson Reloaded, not in my top 5. Buckshot, I love Black Moon. I actually listened to that album a lot. Not in my top 5. Big Pooh Sleepers, not in my top 5. Bun B Trill, that was my shit. I banged out. I lived. My fucking car got totaled. My car went into a fucking church. Crashed to a church. Not in my top 5.
But do you think from where we were in our lives, it has some effect on how you're rating it? Like 2005 is pretty much after we graduated. Like after we graduated from college. Like, I think that has something to do with how you see it.
I mean, yeah, like we're jaded sometimes with like the past. You know what I'm saying? But like, all I'm saying is when I look back at 2005, I was like, yo, man, it's some heaters, and I had to wreck my brain to organize the album. Whereas like other years we've done, yo, like 01.
See, yeah, I haven't done all the years.
Yeah, like we did like 2000. It was like no brain. I was like, man, this shit sucked.
Yeah, like 06, I was scraping the bottom. I was trying to put two things together.
This shit sucked. Yeah, Monkey Bars, like Danger Doom, good shit, good stuff. And they weren't even in my 5.
Yeah, okay.
Becoming Beanie Siegel from Philly, not in my 5.
Right.
Like, but yeah.
I also gave it an A. I felt like this year, had something for everybody. You know, whether you're Sean Price, whether you're Young Jeezy, you're Kanye West, 50. You know, I really think it really did have something. Even when you guys elaborated on the whole duck down renaissance, you know, and they're you know, quote unquote, you know, underground or whatever. I really think 05 had something for everybody. And the product, I feel like from the different regions was quality. For me, it was it was the last mainstream year that I absolutely loved. For me, literally, 06 and on is trash. I keep saying that. Yeah. And you know what the irony is? It from 06 on was actually when the South started to ascend. So I find that a little ironic that for me, 06 on, mainstream hip hop. You know, and it's not, you don't only have to listen to mainstream hip hop, but what I'm saying is I know once upon a time I was able to get the stuff from out of there. Get at least 5 releases, you know.
Right.
But yeah, for me, this year was an A, and it's funny because when we did the 06 podcast, I gave 06 like a C. That's
it was
the difference. That's the difference of it for
of
me.
a year.
Of a year.
06 was
I
bad.
think that's what makes 06 so shitty for me because 05 had a lot of stuff. I liked it back then, and even going back now, the releases I still like them.
Yeah.
I still like him. And not for nothing, I mean, I miss late registration Kanye over, compared to what he's doing now, like stuff, so, yeah, man, I 05 is an A for me. What about you, Renzo?
So I'm